All right. Hello. I am live. I hope everybody is having a wonderful, wonderful Monday. And took off last week, so I'm glad to be back with you guys. And we've got a lot going on in South Carolina between now and 2022. So today I'm going to do a lot of talking about using your V's, and also that video that I just showed. We're going to break that down. Because I've been just thinking a lot, obviously. Matter of fact, let me get to my comments. And again, if you're watching this on replay, I thank you so much. And I want this to be as conversational as possible, guys. So please feel free to type in the comments anything that you want to add. Oh, and big shout out today. I met Dwayne today, aka Tiger. So good to meet you today. I was over at one of the community gardens and he drove by and he stopped and we got a chat going on. So big ups to Dwayne. So it's so nice to meet you today. So hey, look, guys, 2022 in South Carolina is going to be a huge year, right? We've got governor, we got McMaster who's running for re-election. We have Tim Scott who's running for re-election. We got Tom Rice who's running for re-election. We've got a new state house rep. So, well, not a new state house rep, but Lucas Atkinson is running for re-election. If you guys remember, I ran against him last year. So all 2 years ago. So all of those elections are coming up in 2022, which is just around the corner. And I'm like, look, if Georgia can change the planet, because I believe what Georgia did this last year changed the planet, put Joe Biden in office, got rid of the tyrannical Donald Trump, and things are changing. So if Georgia can do that in their state by electing 2 Democratic U.S. senators, why can't we see change in South Carolina? I know we can. I'm beginning to have some conversations with folks that I'm going to be sharing with you over the next weeks and months to come, kind of what's going on, how you can get involved, and what some of the activists are going to be working on. And if you want to get involved in the planning and you want to get involved in the volunteering, if you look down, scrolling on the bottom there's a number, 800-844 number. You can text the word change to that number and we will notify you of events. Okay. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of ways that we're going to be able to use RVs. And, if Georgia can do it, South Carolina can do it. But we got to put work to it. And I'm talking to a lot of people, y'all. And those people that I'm talking to are activists and they're ready to get to work, but we can't do it alone. Okay. So, and be using your V's. Using your V's, simple. Be visible in your community. We gotta show up at meetings, y'all. Um, ooh, Okay, we're going to talk about that. Yes. Okay, Steve Harnett, I'm going to address this question in a second. We got to be visible in our community. We have to use our voice, right? So, like the parent committee with the school district, they're going to be speaking tomorrow at the school board meeting. They're using their voice. It's a scary thing to use your voice. Over this, since I ran for office and even before that, when I use my voice, people don't like me for that. I have made enemies on their side because I'm good. So if somebody wants to consider me an enemy because I would have maybe opposed to something that they supported, or I've asked them to be more transparent, or I have forced the issue with transparency by putting it out on social media, so what? I don't care. That's their issue. But I'm still good. This girl right here will always have a smile on her face, and she will always keep doing what she does. So, and this is what Mr. Harnett says. Do any of those folks have a midterm state platform that we can view for 2022? The answer is yes, they do. And even one up more than that, as I'm out and about, folks are saying, asking me questions, and, they want to talk to me. And I said, if you're going to talk to me, you're going to come to my community. You're going to come to Marion County. So I'm optimistic. We're already working. Crystal Matthews will be here. She's running for against Tim Scott for U.S. Senate, and she's coming to Marion County on October 15th. I think that's the date. So anybody else, I'm looking for Joe Cunningham to come through here and not only share what their midterm platform is, but show up on Mondays with Miko, be able to take direct questions from you, the community, come to community events, right? So the way I see it is there's 46 counties in South Carolina. And Marion County is one of those 46 counties. Every single vote matters, right? So, the rural counties have frequently been overlooked, just overlooked. That change is going to happen because we demand the change. Because we say to the politicians who are running for statewide offices that our vote counts, our needs matter, and we need to see you in our community. We have no choice but to vote for somebody. So how about this, y'all? Let's make them come to us and let's have these discussions with them eyeball to eyeball. And Stephen is coming. It is coming. They are coming. And the one thing I will say about the Democratic candidates is they're excited to come. They're excited to come and talk to us. And by the way, my platform is open to Republican candidates as well. Do I reach out to them proactively? No, I don't. But it's open. Somebody wants to come on the platform and share it with you, I'll be more than happy to give them the platform. Hello from Lagos, Nigeria. Oh my goodness. You know what? I found out I did a DNA test and I found out that I'm Nigerian. Look Nigerian? I think I do. Okay. So, but good statement, Stephen. Very, very good statement. And yes, they're coming. So our state, South Carolina. South Carolina is 27% Black. So 27% of the people who live in South Carolina are African American. That makes it one of the blackest states. I think it's one of the top 5 states in terms of where African Americans live. Post Reconstruction, we were actually the majority, like the big time majority. And then there was a flight. Everybody left South Carolina. But we want that to change. We definitely want that to change. We want people to come back to South Carolina. So when I look at 27% of South Carolina is Black, and over 60% in my community are Black. That means when I look at TV, when I look at Facebook pages of our governor, of our US senators, I want to see us represented. I want to see us represented in hiring. I want to see us represented in leadership. I want to see our communities receiving equal investment. And we're going to break down that video that I put together of McMaster because he is not it. But it's important that we ask those questions. And so I'm going to contrast that to where I'm from, and I frequently do. I am from Jersey, and in Jersey, it's about 13%, it's about 16% African American. And then the whole country represents about 13% African American. So in the state of South Carolina, this is where we live. And so this is where we have power if we choose to exercise it, the same way Georgia did. But it takes work, right? It takes work. In order for us to leverage our power and for our voices to be heard and for things to be changed in our communities by electing people up and down the ballot box, is y'all, all we got to do is vote, right? So it's going to take a few of us to work and to tell more of us to vote and to get people to the voting polls and things like that. But hopefully, by the end of this chat, you'll have more of a understanding as to why using our V's are important. And then hopefully over the next weeks and months to come, as I bring people on and you're able to hear from their platforms and showing you some things that we're doing, you will understand how important it is that we activate, and we have to activate our young people. Very, very, very important. So, what leaders say and what they do and what is important to them matters. It matters a lot because that tells us, when they're behind closed doors, what's on the top of their mind when they're negotiating. So people frequently tell me, my husband and I, we're beginning entry level property managers, and people frequently ask for housing in Marion County, and there's very few available. I rarely see rental vacancies. That's an issue. Is it a concern of the people who you elect? And if it's not, it's because we are not putting it in their ears, and or we're electing the wrong people. People want higher wages. Is it a concern of the people we elect? So that's part of why using your V's is so important to me. But here, let's go through this video a little bit. All right, I'm going to start it. I'm going to break it down a little bit. Go back to the beginning. All right. So I'm going to pause it right here for a second. So this is our governor, McMaster. And y'all, this is September 2nd. I follow him on social media. And he said some things on his social media page that really just makes me sick to my stomach. And so I knew for the past couple of weeks, it's been on my heart to kind of bring some of this stuff to the forefront that he's posting. But y'all, these are just a few posts from September. You can go back and look at his post and his Twitter feed and see some stuff that I imagine you probably wouldn't agree with, right? So this was one from September 2nd. And we as a state have been struggling with COVID. We as a state have all kinds of issues in terms of getting our people vaccinated, getting our people informed, getting our people back to work with higher wages, you name it. But yet, the governor has a press conference and he is considering using $360 million in money that's earmarked for COVID relief to expand the highway I-26 between Columbia and Charleston. Now, I'm not saying that that's not a good thing to do, that our highways, our whole infrastructure in South Carolina needs improvement. But priorities is what I'm talking about, right? Where do our elected officials have their priorities? So on September 9th, our president, Joe Biden, he had a press conference. And in his press conference, he said he's pulling out all stakes against COVID, right? He wants America's one, in order to keep our economy open, in order to keep our hospitals from overflowing, in order to keep people from dying, that he's pulling out all stops against COVID. And he was asking for all elected officials to join him in this fight against COVID. Well, our elected official, Governor Henry McMaster, says, "Rest assured, we will fight them to the gates of hell to protect the liberty and livelihood of every South Carolinian." Those are his words, not mine. Now, for some reason, I don't feel protected by him. I don't feel that my needs are what matters to him or the needs of my community. So then this next one, I found this quite interesting. He says, while getting vaccinated is the best tool we have to protect ourselves and others from COVID 19, I'm going to park right there because he is right. And he is vaccinated and his family's been vaccinated. And so have all of these politicians who refuse to give you the right information. But let's keep going. He says, I am encouraging residents to learn more about the use and availability of monoclonal antibodies. Now, guys, remember, I was telling you all about monoclonal antibodies before it became the thing to do, the treatment, right? And so he says, a treatment proven to be effective in staving off serious illness from COVID 19. So here's my question. He knows because he sees the data from the CDC. He is the governor, he has the experts. DHEC is under his authority. But yet, he still says, you know what? Forget about the prevention. Do it if you think that's good for you. But focus on the treatments. Y'all, and again, this is not, you know where I stand on the vaccines. You guys all know where I stand on the vaccines. But it's about community. It's about community. And so my point is this, is that yes, everybody has a decision to make. So if everybody has a decision to make, Governor Henry McMaster, say nothing. Say nothing. Don't kind of discourage the vaccines and say, oh, but you know what? If you get COVID, run out and get the monoclonal antibody treatment. And a couple months ago, when I was telling you guys about the monoclonal antibody treatments, it was available. Well, there was a recent report that Care South is out of the medicine needed to do the treatment. That's how many people are needing this monoclonal antibody treatment. That's how many people. I talk to people every day that tell me that the hospitals right here in Marion County are full. Full. This is not a game. Not a game. So then, let me see what else I got here for our buddy. Oh, well, this was kind of interesting, and I'm gonna leave it at this. He signs a letter. The border is out of control. The border is out of sight and out of mind for the Biden admin, and the negative impacts of this reckless open border agenda can no longer be ignored. So he's saying all this about the border while we are suffering in South Carolina. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm looking at the map again. Maybe I missed it. Maybe we are a border state. Well, we're not. Henry McMaster, where are your priorities? Voters, we have to make sure that our elected officials are doing what's in the best interests of our state. He's not. So I'm looking forward to getting the folks that are running for governor in 2022 on this show so you can hear what their priorities are, and then you can make a decision for yourself. And and it's just really just rocks my boat when politicians want to talk about vaccines when it's not super positive. It's like, just say nothing. Let the CDC, let the DHEC, let the officials who have it's their job, not what they're elected to do. Let them tell it. Go from there. So that's statewide office governor. And oh my goodness, y'all, I never knew how much it mattered to have like a governor that really truly represented us. Ain't that stupid? I know I say that, but I feel bad saying it. But until I'm living in a state where Governor McMaster is our governor, I never realized just how important it is. So I'm going to work. I'm going to work and to get the word out, to give people a platform so that we can hopefully get a new governor in 2022. But that's just one of the races. We also have a U.S. Senate race. So we have 50 states, and every state sends 2 senators. Our state, the 2 senators are Lindsey Graham. He was just reelected last year, and Tim Scott. Tim Scott is up for election in reelection in 2022. So one of the things that I'm going to be doing, I told you about Crystal Matthews. There's 2 females that are running to. I think they're both elected. One is an elected official. Crystal Matthews is an elected official at the state level, and she's running for the U.S. She's a state rep, and she's running for U.S. Senate. Sorry, and she will be on my show coming up soon in advance of her coming to Marion County. And Angela Jeter, if your people are out there, definitely welcome you to come on Mondays with Miko to also share your platform and take some questions. So that is a Senate seat. Then there's also Tom Rice is running for reelection. I have not heard if there any hope. There's some Democrats that are going to run against him. I really, really do. And also, and it's all politics are local. We know that. And so tomorrow I'm going to share it on all of my pages, and I'll be texting anybody that signs up for the text list. So text the word change to 844-411-5657, and you'll be added to this text list. And so I'll send you a link that's going to contain the YouTube where you could sign in and you can watch the board meeting tomorrow live. The concerned parents are going to be really speaking from their heart about what they want to see with the school districts, right? The schools are listening to attorneys and everybody else. So this is going to be the chance, an opportunity for parents to actually have their voices heard at the school board meeting. And the way you can support them is by watching the YouTube. Let's break it. Let's make sure more people watch the YouTube tomorrow for the meeting than ever before. So all politics is local. We do a census every 10 years. And so when they figure out like who gets to represent us, like you've been hearing about it. If you listen to the news, they call it redistricting. You may hear about it referred to as gerrymandering. And it's basically they draw maps, right? And so, a state rep, they have about 32,000 people in their region. So they figure out like how many people one elected official needs to represent. And then these maps are drawn, and the maps are frequently drawn by race and demographics, right? So the people that are in power in the government, they get to make the decisions because they have the majority. So in South Carolina, those folks are the Republicans. So there was a census that came through, and I'm going to talk about Marion County for a second. Marion County, the numbers in Marion County in 10 years, we're already about 32,000 people who live in our county. According to what I've seen, 8,000 people left our county in 10 years. That means that's a lot of voices. That's a lot of voices that are no longer here. And that is going to give the Republicans an opportunity to cut us up and to draw new lines based on what's favorable for their reelection. And even to create seats that were formerly not competitive, right? So all before in Marion County, the race is always run in a Democratic primary because whoever wins the Democratic primary goes on to win the general hands down. This is a Democratic district. Well, if they are able, they meaning the Republicans that are in power, if they are able to cut up these districts to pull in enough conservative votes, then guess what? They may even be able to run a primary and to run somebody in the general, and we may even lose the Democratic seats that we have. That's what redistricting is kind of sort of all about. And so I'm going to be sharing more information with you on redistricting as we go. But please know it's really, really important that we stay tuned to redistricting and what it means and how you can get involved. There are going to be hearings that you can show up to, and so more is to come. Um, Two more things off the political side. I know I've been talking kind of political today. Um, don't get evicted, and don't pay an absorbent high utility bill that you can't afford. Help is out there for you. I had um, Mr. Al Moore was on my show a couple weeks ago from PD Community Action Agency. They are helping people pay their rent and utilities. There's a couple other agencies that I know that are helping people take their collect their rent, pay their rent and utilities. Pick 42 Foundation, at our events coming up, we have a Halloween costume, brand new Halloween costumes, free, donated by Walmart. We're going to be giving them away in the park on this Saturday. Oh my goodness, it's this Saturday. It's September 25th. So this Saturday, we're going to be giving away the Halloween costumes. And then as part of the check-in, we will be asking people if you want a referral to get help with your rent and utilities. And they're paying water, they're paying electric, they're paying gas. You know, I've seen some people with $400 a month bills. That's a lot, especially with the way COVID has impacted our community. So help is out there for you. So, take that money that you would usually use to pay for your electric bill and use it to do something else. Okay. But this money is available. So please get help with your utilities, get help with your rent. And it's my understanding that they will pay back rent and 3 months up, 3 months forward rent. So, more to come. If you see us out there, if you see Pick 42 on 925, we're going to be doing the free Halloween costumes. And then I erased my board, but there's a couple other things. On October 9th, we're also going to be taking referrals. That's our next vaccine clinic. So at these various things, we're going to be taking referrals to get you the help you need. I know it's hard to ask for help, some of us, but you know what? Do it for your family. Do it for your family. And as these things are made available to us, we're going to continue to share with everybody. All right. And so the next vaccine clinic is October 9th. And we're still waiting to find out from our nurse practitioner if we will be doing boosters, but I'm gonna put it out there. Something's telling me that we will be doing boosters for ages 65 and up. In addition to people getting first and second shots. That's on October 9th, and the $20 gift card will still apply. Our donors are still out there pulling for us and providing those gift cards, thank God. And then the last thing I do want to say is that unfortunately, please, please pray for our doctors and our nurses that are working in these hospitals. I've talked to a lot of people, and they're sad. They're wanting to quit their jobs. These hospitals are full and they're not safe. So and this is what I mean. Not that the people who work there are making them not safe. They're not safe for you if you don't have COVID, because they're full of COVID people. So let's say you break a leg, well, you go to the hospital. If it's full of COVID people, where does that put you at? So, or if you have a heart attack, or all kinds of things, all kinds of regular reasons why we need our local hospital, but the hospitals are clogged up all over. Testing sites are clogged up. So please be careful, be safe, and I will be back next Monday with more on using your V's and more bringing people to the table to answer your questions about how we move forward in South Carolina in 2022. With that being said, hope you all have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.